Welcome to the Swirl to Investment News Network. News by and for the Swirl to Investment community. Hope you enjoy. Welcome, everybody, to the Swirl to Investment News Network. Good to see everybody tonight. Sorry it's a late one. Just got off work. I do apologize. But I want to get this in. Okay? I wanted to do this as a news story. We hear what's going on with the passport bros, right? It's been going on some time. A group of men that get their passport, go overseas, supposedly hooking up with traditional submissive women, given the perception that they're better than women in the United States. Okay. We've seen the passport bros, right? Well, a lot of stuff is happening overseas. And I'm not against people getting married to foreign nationals, okay? I have no problem with that. But are you going over there for sex, or are you going over there to find a traditional wife? Like they tell us that's what they do, right? And how it's so much better over there. Okay. But with it, their search for paradise, for that perfect woman, sometimes don't end well. Okay. And we've been watching the news, right? We've been seeing people travel overseas. The latest in Colombia, 8 men were found unalived. And then there's something going on with this dating app. Okay. Now that's Colombia. But this can happen anywhere. And another thing, you're announcing you're going over there. People watch YouTube worldwide. They know about the passport bros. They know they're going overseas. They know they're looking for women, and they say they're looking for traditional submissive women. And amazingly, they meet these great traditional submissive women that want to cook for their man and be the perfect wife, and it all sounds good, right? Is that what they're really getting, or is it something else? Okay. Like I said, I know people that are married to women from different countries, and some women married to men from other countries. Okay. I'm not against that at all. But my thing is, and this is my opinion, there's so many beautiful, amazing traditional women in America. You don't have to go overseas, to find that. The problem is we're not acting like traditional men. We're trying to be a modern man with a traditional woman. Don't work, okay? But enough said with that. Okay. Here, this news reporting, it's a bit old, but it's pretty recent. Okay, and this is what happened in Colombia. I'll go ahead and roll the footage.
Tonight, an urgent warning for Americans visiting Colombia after a string of deaths in tourist hotspots. The U.S. Embassy in Bogota urging travelers not to use dating apps in the country, writing in a security alert that criminals are using the sites to lure victims, with many U.S. citizens drugged, robbed, and even killed by their Colombian dates. Embassy officials confirming the deaths of at least 8 Americans traveling in Medellin, possibly linked to the apps.
I'm out of words to describe. I don't even know how I feel right now.
A situation all too familiar for the family of 50-year-old Tu Zhang, an artist and activist from Minnesota who we first reported on last month. He had been traveling in Colombia in December when he called his brother out of the blue asking for money.
This time he was like, hey, do you have a couple of thousand? I was like, yeah, no problem. When do you want it? He said, I want it now. I'm in this bit of a situation here. I go, yeah, I can do that.
Zhang's family telling our Minneapolis affiliate soon after he stopped responding to their messages, he was found dead. A local prosecutor saying Zhang was kidnapped during a date and killed when he could not make the ransom payment, and that his body was found covered in stab wounds.
I was confused. To be honest with you, I don't know why, what the motive is.
Zhang had visited Colombia in the past, posting photos and videos to social media as recently as October with an unidentified woman.
I'm with my girl.
The embassy's alert indicated officials do not believe all 8 of the deaths are linked and said they've seen an increase in reports of incidents involving the use of online dating applications to lure victims, typically foreigners, for robbery by force or using sedatives to drug and rob individuals. Often the reports coming from...
All right, let me stop right there. You see what's going on so far, right? This dating app, people going overseas, they know you're coming. Look, it's advertised on YouTube all the time. Passport bros trying to encourage other men to go overseas because the women are so great and submissive and so wonderful, right? Now, I'm sure in Colombia, there's some traditional submissive women, okay? But are they hanging around the clubs and where the tourists go? To find a traditional woman, it takes time. It takes getting to know that person. You got to know if you have things in common. You got to know, if you mesh well. Do your values align? Do you both believe in God? There's so many things you got to know before you get into a relationship. Okay. And look, the everyday guy, how can he develop a relationship overseas? Now, if you're rich and wealthy and you can travel the world, no problem, you might have enough time to figure that out. But honestly, I really don't think these men are going over there to find that traditional woman. I think they're going over there to have sexual relations, and have fun with the foreign women. Okay. You got to be careful. Okay. You're out of your element. They see YouTube. They know you're coming. And look, for years, men have been traveling to different countries, to participate with sex workers and prostitutes. Look, this ain't nothing new. And even some of those passport bros admit to paying for sex. So I really don't think it's a search for traditional women. Maybe some guys are trying that, but you can find that at home. You really can. You just gotta, be that traditional man, and you gotta fix yourself. You get what you put in. There's no easy way out. There's no quick fix to finding a good wife, to finding someone that's meant for you. You got to put in the work. And going to foreign countries, is it the answer? Now, if you work overseas and you're in that community and working there and you get to know the people, I can see falling in love. But just to take a trip and get a passport and whammo presto, you got a traditional wife. I would say 9 times out of 10, you're not going to get that. Now, there is a chance you might end up with that great woman. But I've seen men go overseas. I've spent so much time overseas in the military. I've seen men fall in love with these foreign nationals. And like I said in my last video, it's like a mixed bag. You know, some find good wives, some don't. Some of the look, and you got to understand the situation. Americans on the world stage, they look at us as wealthy. You know, the American dream is seen around the world. Why do you think people are crossing our borders all the time trying to get in? They want the American dream. They see our country as a wealthy country. And you as an American going over there, you have a target on your back. I'm just saying. And I'm not trying to bash any women overseas, but come on. Just think about it. If you really ain't got it like that in America, what makes you think you're going to go overseas and be the man over there? I'm just saying. But anyway, let's continue.
Major Colombian cities like Medellin, Cartagena, and Bogota. Murders of foreign visitors went up by 29% in the latter part of 2023 compared to the previous year.
29%, the unaliving rate of foreigners. That's not good, guys. I'm sure there's safe places in Colombia, but what's going on?
According to the embassy, and most of the victims were U.S. citizens. It's a popular destination for Americans who are big contributors to Colombia's tourism industry, making up nearly 30% of foreign travelers in the first half of last year. But behind that beauty, tragedy, and unanswered questions for families like Zhang's, a case where no arrests have been announced, according to that local prosecutor. Loved ones are left to mourn from thousands of miles away.
And he'll draw everybody in. That's the type of people he is.
Okay, with that, Stephen Romo joins us. Stephen, so what kind of advice is the U.S. Embassy giving travelers? Because a lot of people travel to Colombia.
Yeah, a lot of people do, that's for sure. The advice actually applies to pretty much anywhere that you're dating. When you find people online, a lot of it is if you meet a stranger, go to a public place. We hear that time and time again. Also, tell friends and family your plans, where you're going, details about the person, and even what app you used. This one, though, is more crime-oriented. They say don't resist physically if you are being robbed. They say people...
Okay. They're talking about being in a public place if you're meeting somebody overseas. Well, that's common sense on just a date, meeting somebody, even in your hometown. You know, you want to be in a place that has a lot of people in a secure environment because you don't know who you're dealing with. And like I said, especially overseas, you're a target as American. Let's be honest. Now, not everybody's targeting you, but there are corrupt people out there that know you have money. They know you have iPhones. They know you have tablets. They know you have drones. They know you have all this neat electronic stuff we have as Americans, right? I got all that crap too. But you know, bringing that stuff overseas, you're looking to get ripped off. And bringing strange women in your hotel. Look, come on, common sense. Seen one video where one guy got his iPhone stolen, a tablet, a drone, all kinds of stuff. And I'm like, why would you bring all that stuff on vacation? I mean, you could, but you know, I would say this is my advice, okay? And you can do what you want, but me, I would leave my personal life, my relationship part of my life, and this is just me, okay, at home, okay? You know, that's just me. Some people, you know, want to meet people from different countries and and that's fine. You just got to be smart when you do it. Um, but I found that we have great women in our own country. We don't have to go overseas to find a good wife, a traditional woman. We got that in America. The problem is we're not being traditional men. We don't want to protect and provide, but we want the woman to cook, clean, wash her dirty clothes and be totally submissive, and we both work. That it don't work that way, you know. Hey, how you doing, Carolyn Tyler? All right, and Thomas Tyler. But seriously, now I've known people that have met people overseas and had good marriages. I There's an older man at my church married to a Korean woman. And they got kids and grandkids, been married for several years, over 50 years. But his family was missionaries and they lived in Korea. And he actually fell in love with a woman that was Korean, but was a Christian just like him. And, you know, it happened. Okay. And they're good people, you know. But just this passport bro thing, the quick fix, oh, just so much better over there. Uh, I don't buy into it. I'm sorry. Look, I've been on this earth long enough to know that, there's no quick fix to anything. There's no shortcut to find a good relationship, to find a good wife. It just don't happen like that. You got to put in the work, and you got to fix yourself before you can expect, a woman to be great. You got to be great. I'm just saying, you can't. There's no shortcut. There's no easy way. You want a good traditional woman, you got to be a good traditional man. Um, you know. But some people think that the grass is greener over the hill, and we see these videos and these passport bros, they package them nice. They do. I seen one video with cute little Filipina girls, right? Oh, yeah, we want to cook for our husbands, and, that looks neat, but do we really know who these women are? I'm just saying. Do they want to come to America? Do they want to live the American dream? Or are they looking for the quickest way to get there? Do these women love you when you're over there? See, there's so many things you got to get to know people. And nothing against Filipinas. I mean, are Colombians, are anybody, okay? They're people like us. But you gotta do your research, you gotta do your homework, and it takes work. But while you're going overseas doing all this, you can find that in America. I'm just saying. Well, that's my opinion. Okay, let's finish this video.
Who do that, they are more likely to be killed. And also, importantly, in pretty much all situations, trust your instincts. If something feels off, just get away. But with all of these advisories and warnings out there, it might be a good idea just to put that phone down, stop swiping while you're visiting Colombia for a little while.
Good advice, Stephen Romo. All right, man, we thank you for that.
Thanks for watching. Stay up.
Okay, thank you, Stephen Romo. But anyway, okay, they give you some ideas about how to be safe. Know your surroundings. Okay, if you're overseas, my advice to you would be at the tourist places where the tourists are at. Don't be roaming neighborhoods, exploring places you don't know nothing about. You're out of your environment, you're out of your element. When I travel and go on vacation overseas, I'm at the tourist places. I'm not going to go roam around the neighborhood. Okay. If I'm you know, and let's say Jamaica or the Bahamas or I'm going to stay at the resort because I know as an American, they know I don't belong there. I would be a target, right? So, when me and my wife travel and we take vacations, we stay at the resorts because they're safe and we can enjoy ourselves, and find out the safe places to go. Um, you know, but common sense. But we're not targets like passport bros, but they see you coming. These women study you guys. You passport bros. Listen, these women are studying you and they're going to finesse you like you wouldn't believe. Okay? Now, could you find a good one in the bunch? Sure, it can happen. But is it likely? My honest opinion is no. And I'm being brutally honest. From what I've seen, mm-mm. And look, I've never dated foreign nationals. But I know I have friends that have done it. I have friends that serve with me in the military that have married foreign nationals, and some have been hurt. Some have been taken advantage of. I've seen it. Okay. You just got to be careful. Okay. We have paradise in America. We don't have to go overseas to find it. That's my opinion. I'm just saying. But people look for an easy way out. They got that impression. Oh my God, the women are so submissive, and American women, they just want too much, and nah. 9 times out of 10, it's not the woman's fault. It's yours as a man. I'm just going to be honest. Okay. Let me remove that. I got a couple of videos I want to show you. Okay. Some stuff that's went overseas, a couple TikToks.
I was a valuable lesson because Obi told me that I should have asked her to take the drink first, take that shot first, and I didn't take the shot first. They drugged me. They called the third girl. They had to call the third girl, and she came in with that bag, and they opened the door for her. You see what I'm trying to say? So it's like basically I'm knocked out, drugged, sleeping, and the girls are just going through my apartment.
What do you think about that? This guy over here went overseas. He was drugged. They went through his stuff. They robbed him. We always tell women, right? When you go out, watch your drink because people put stuff in it. Well, they're doing it to these guys. You invite a young lady to your hotel room, and guess what? She sees what you got in there. Is she with you looking for love, or is she looking to exploit you? I'm just saying, not saying all women would do that over there, but there are some that would do that. And men have been robbed. They have had stuff stolen. Okay. And look, some of them have been unalived. Okay. Looking for that paradise, that traditional woman, or to have fun, or whatever they're doing down there. And he's saying what they did to him. And talking about another woman came in, and yeah, they were running a scam on him, drug him a little bit, and they got free reign, and they could take everything he's got. But he's one of the lucky ones. At least he gets to come home. At least he just had material things taken. That the man before, they took his life. Okay. This is serious. And those that promote the passport bros, you need to be careful. You need to warn these guys, okay? You know, it's dangerous out there. You keep showing them paradise with these great submissive women and get them thinking, oh my God, that's all I got to do is go overseas. No. Okay. Americans are an easy target. They really are. A lot of these dudes are gullible and believe, oh, they think we're so great. I'm sure there's some women over there that think Americans are great, but there's some that will take advantage of you. It's called karma. Yeah. So when you get your passport, be careful. And, don't be giving women the finger on your way out to another country because things can happen. I'm just saying. Okay, let me remove that. I got one more.
Dating apps after suspicious deaths of 8 Americans in Colombia. So if you're new here, I actually live in Medellin, Colombia. I've been here since April. Okay. Now, before you get your panties in a bunch, Medellin.
Okay, this young lady lives in Colombia. She's going to tell us what it's about. I'll rewind it a little bit. Okay, and I'm sure Colombia's a nice place. I'm sure it's real beautiful. A lot of nice sights to see. But there's crime everywhere. There's corruption everywhere. Okay. And being somebody that's not from there, and they perceive Americans as having money and wealth, yeah, be careful. Let me rewind this. Let's hear what she has to say.
U.S. warns of using dating apps after suspicious deaths of 8 Americans in Colombia. So if you're new here, I actually live in Medellin, Colombia. I've been here since April. Okay. Now, before you get your panties in a bunch, Medellin in Colombia is relatively safe. I mean, of course, stuff happens just like any, major city. Like I live in Medellin, so it's a major city. So of course, yes, things happen just like any other major city in the United States. The problem is the passport bros are coming over here and they're getting on Tinder. They're meeting women in the schmeck's work territory. And these women are, they're getting back to their hotel rooms and they're drugging them and they're robbing them. Now, because a lot of men come over here and they just throw all of their common sense out the window. Like, bro, if you are a 2 in Idaho, what makes you think you're going to come to Colombia and have this beautiful woman all over you and she don't want nothing?
Ooh, she's right. And I said this before. And that was, look, when I was in the military before I got married, look, and I went overseas, and those women would be, because we're Americans, they'd be all over us, right? And she said, she's right. If you're a 2 in Idaho, you're a 2 wherever you go. Yes. See, for me, I had enough humility to know I'm an average guy. I get average results. But overseas, somehow I have more value. And you got to look at it logically. Okay, American women ain't onto me like this. Yeah, there's a few that like me, but not like this. You got to ask yourself why. Why is it different here? You got money. Think about it. If me as a regular everyday white guy, people are going past me and not think nothing of it. Women, I'm not going to turn heads. But if I'm a rich millionaire, there's going to be a lot of people interested, right? Same thing overseas, guys. Come on now. If you're not a ladies' man in America, they'll make you feel like you are over there, but there's something going on. She's right. If you're a 2 here, you're a 2 there. Just saying. Sometimes humility is a beautiful thing. Being humbled, knowing the truth can protect you. Just saying. Anyway, let's continue.
now. Okay. Now, in some cases, it doesn't end in, unaliving or anything like that. A lot of times, a lot of times the Schmex workers, they are there, to get their paper and go home. But a lot of times, they get caught up with the wrong one. And I heard just the other day, literally like last week, a guy left his, this wasn't even about Schmex. I've been here since April.
Hey, let me, I'm sorry, I kind of restarted that. Let me address this comment, okay? I volunteer against human trafficking. That's a good point. Guys, if you're messing with these women overseas, okay, you got to understand there's human trafficking going on. A lot of these women are forced into prostitution, and you going over there messing with them, you're contributing to the trafficking. You're contributing to the evil, okay? Don't do it. It's not right. Okay? These women are somebody's daughter, and they're put in a situation that some of these women can't get out of. And some of them are desperate. And for you to feel like a baller and get your rocks off, you need to knock that off. It's almost like it's like, and this is what it's like. It's like you're contributing to slavery, straight up. You mess with these women selling sex, you're contributing to slavery. You are. Because a number of these women don't have a choice, and you're putting them in there. Let that sink in. If you want to go over there and find a traditional woman, do it the traditional way. Do it the right way. But a lot of human trafficking going on. Some of you think, well, it's just an agreement. That's what they choose. That's the life they chose. And it's just, no, a lot of them, they have no choice. I'm serious. Is this one of the most valuable things? Is your American passport? Yes. You don't want to be trapped in a foreign country. Yeah. But yeah. Okay. These days, there are a lot of underage COVID orphans now, too. Yeah. Look, don't mess with the women. Seriously. Now, it's one thing to be a part of the community because you work over there and you get to know people. But don't go to the nightclubs messing with the women. You don't. Look, a lot of these women are being exploited. Okay? And you being over there, being a customer, you're contributing to it. You're part of the evil. Okay? I'm just saying. They bring them to the U.S. The average age 12. Wow. Yeah, human trafficking it's a thing that's worldwide. It's going on in the United States too. Okay? But overseas it's really bad. Okay? A lot of those girls are young. I saw a report on overseas, and some of them women, those young ladies are like 12, 13, 14, very young. It's sick. It's disgusting. I'm just saying. It's not good. Okay, let's put this back up here.
Now, before you get your panties in a bunch.
All right, let me see if I get
a lot of times, a lot of times the Schmex workers, they are there, to get their paper and go home. But a lot of times, they get caught up with the wrong one. And I heard just the other day, literally like last week, a guy left his, this wasn't even about Schmeck's work. It was a guy left his cell phone in the Uber, and the Uber driver, not even an Uber, but the taxi, and the taxi driver like hacked his phone and took all his money. It was crazy. But yeah, don't take the taxis when you come here. But yeah, it's like going out in Colombia, like, I can see it. I see it with my own eyes. You can tell who are the passport bros. You can tell who's here to get the Schmeck's workers, and you can see them on the street, and it's very, very obvious. So if you're coming to Colombia, be safe. I tell all my friends who come here, get off of Tinder. Just get off Tinder and stop inviting random women to your hotel. I don't care how beautiful this woman is. I don't care if you even went out on a date with her a couple times. I would not take this woman back to my hotel. I would get like one of those love hotels and do what I gotta do. I would not let this one back to where my belongings are. Like, I would not. Okay, so yeah, if you're coming here, watch out.
Okay. Wow. This is a serious thing. And you know, I just see this going on, and there's this one guy on YouTube. He's really big. He's what's the name of his channel? He's a passport bro, but he I think it's Beautiful Lies or something. It's a black dude, and he promotes it, and he talks so positive, like these women are so amazing. And I mean, he's kind of like a Dr. Love, go overseas, get your passport, guys. These women are so submissive, and oh, they're great. They want to cook for you, they want to clean, wash your feet, and they just, oh, they're so traditional. And they make it sound like, oh my God. And if you're a young, dumb guy, you might, wow, you know, us men, we want traditional women. A lot of us do. We want submissive women, right? Well, you got to be a traditional man for that. That takes hard work. That takes getting to know somebody. That means providing and protecting. Traditional, the way the traditional marriage is, how it has been in the past, is a man works, the woman takes care of the household. She don't work also, she takes care of the kids and the household, while the man does all the working, and he pays for everything. He takes care of it. Okay? A traditional marriage isn't both of you working and the woman takes care of the kids and cooks for you too. No, no, no. You're making an imbalance there. If you're 50-50, you got to do your part. Okay? If you want to be you want that traditional woman, you got to be the traditional man and provide it all. Hey there, Believe. How's it going? Good to see you. Missed you too. Yeah, familiar with his. Yeah, he's a dusty bandit, in my opinion. He puts on this thing like the women are so great, and he bashes black women too. This guy, this clown, I mean, talks about, and a lot of these passport bros, they talk about how wonderful women are overseas while giving the finger to black women, and it's disgusting. And somebody sent me an email. Check this out. Okay. And it was some dude, right? He says, hey Roadrunner, I found a group of black men that are like you, but they only date non-black or non-black women, and they're black guys, and they it's kind of like you with black women, and you guys are the same. And I was like, oh, really? And what this group is called, and look, I seen this. I never knew what it meant or stood for. I never really cared. I know there's black men that love white women and Asian women and all this stuff. But this dude gave me this email and said they're like me, and suggested I bring them on the show and have a conversation. And so I was like, well, who are these guys, right? Because I promote, I'm down with the swirl, right? So I love black women. Everybody knows that, right? So I'm okay with people, being attracted to other groups of people, whether you're black or white, man or woman. I support that because everybody should be with who they want to be with. Okay. But sent me an email and wanted me to check this. It's like a movement, right? Of black men. And I'm like, okay. So I'm kind of skeptical. Why would I? Anytime somebody wants me to bring a black man, I'm just like, I have to really research this. And my channel's about black women and non-black men. So why would I do that? But anyway, I looked into this, and these guys are called SYSB, and it's Save Yourself Black Men. I'm like, and I listened to some of their videos and their live shows, and I did a little research on this group, and they're part of a movement. They're telling black men to get away from black women and date and marry white women and Asian women, non-black women, right? And they talk about how they're so great and how black women are so horrible. It's kind of like kind of like these red pill dudes, like the black women are so evil and messed up, and blaming black women for what's going on in the black community and all the single mothers and the marriage rates. And it's weird. It's like there's no accountability for these men, but the black women are just totally wrong. And I'm like, that is nothing. I am nothing like that. Yes, I have a preference for black women, but I'm not sitting here running down white women saying they're garbage and everything. I might make fun of them or say a few things, to be funny, but I'm not trying to get away from the people in my community. I do love women that look like me. I just don't love them the way I do black women. I just never wanted to date or marry them. Okay, and that's just my preference. That's just who I am. But I'm not trying to get away from my community. I'm just trying to, I want to be where I'm at and be who I am. I just wanted, when I was dating, to have a black woman beside me. That's what I wanted. And I got that. And we are not the same. I don't know where this guy, I guess it's similar that we're dating outside our race. I guess that's what we got in common. We're swirling, I guess. Okay. But other than that, we're total opposites. Okay. And it's crazy because these guys trash black women. And it's weird because people accuse me of hating black men and white women, which isn't true at all. I just think black women are the best option, which they are. And statistically, it proves when you look at the data that we're better off marrying black women. White men are better off marrying black women. They proved that. And did you know something else? Black men do better married to black women also. So let me put this in perspective. Okay. If you take black men and white men, we're at our best with black women. Let that sink in. White men have the best marriages with black women. White men do. Better than Asian or white women. We're better off statistically marrying black women, right? Well, if you study black men, when they date out, their marriage rates go down. I mean, even within the black community, they're not that good anyway. But the best they have is with black women. Okay? So that says something about a black woman's character. Whatever man she's with, for us men, statistically, in the collective, black women are the best option for us. Whether you're black or white or whatever, seriously. Black women have a lot of character. Black women have a lot of love. Okay? And for these SYSBMs trying to save themselves from what? Black women? Really? The women that have protested and fought for you forever? You want to leave that group of women? The women that have stood up for you all your life? You want to cast them away to get with Becky and Mei-Ling? Really? I think these dudes are nuts. I think they're off the rocker. Because I'm telling you, nobody will love you like a black woman will. I'm serious. Look, I'm going to hit 30 years of marriage, so I know what I'm talking about. You know? And I looked at stats, and we all do better with black women. Why is that? But I just find it amazing that you're going to cast away black women to be with these other groups of women. Now, if that's your preference, hey, that's fine. But what do you got to trash the women in your community? It just, I don't know. I don't understand it. I mean, my preference is black women, but I do have respect for white women. I do. I love them. I will call them Becky's, and there will be times I make fun of them, but hell, they make fun of me. It's all good. It's crazy. You know, I don't take it personal. I know white women that love black men. That's their choice. That's their business. I don't take it personal because they're not picking us. Oh, well. You know, but it's crazy. But this joker wanted me to talk to these dudes like we got something in common. We don't. Yeah, we interracially date, marry, okay. And I mean, and some of these guys, well, I'll trade you black women for all the white women. Well, we can't trade people. People go where they want to go. But if black women and white women got together and decided to trade places, I'd be okay with it. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. But people should go where they want to go. We can't do that. But I mean, but if you want to distance yourself from the most beautiful, most successful group of women in America, okay, go ahead. I mean, you could bowl for Becky's all night long. You could get with Mei-Ling and have fun. I tell you what, I know what the best option is. You know, you're just crazy. The movements they create on YouTube, right? I was just like, wow, these guys talk. And what's crazy, and this is what they do too. They'll put the impression that black women with white men are racist people, like black women are getting with Klan members or something goofy. I mean, this one video he showed a Klan dude talking in his suit and saying that, oh, that a black woman that took care of him when he was a child said she would never be with black men, and somehow that means, that white men and black women are working together to just go after the black man. I mean, I hear this all the time. It's like, no, you're not that important. We go for black women because we love black women. That's it. We're not trying to mess with you. We don't care about what you're doing. Go be with your Becky and your Maylene. I mean, have fun. Leave us alone. Just, oh man. But anyway, that's, I don't know. It's kind of weird. I mean, we all have our preferences, and that's fine. But we don't need to attack one woman to love another woman, do we? Do I need to come on and tell you how much Becky sucks to show my love to black women? I mean, what would be the point? And when you're in love, oh, an epic debate. Yeah. You know what? I tell you, I actually would love to talk to one of these SYSBM dudes. I really do. I would just love to have a conversation to just try to figure out their mindset and why they come up with their way of thinking. Because we see things through a different lens. Because when I look at black women, I can see the amazing things black women do. And I can see the love that black women pour in the black men. And I see how black women will be with a man and give it her all, even if he don't deserve her. I see this over and over. Black women do try to make the relationships work. They put in their heart and soul. And I'm like, wow. And I'm telling you, the reason I fell in love with black women, it wasn't just how they looked, it was just the personality. You know how they carry themselves, and just their character. I mean, you can feel the love. You can feel it. It's like there's something there that's just amazing. And you can feel it from black women that are in their 20s or 80s. There's something about them. There's like an essence to them. There's like a love they have. It's like a sweetness. I just, and those guys married to black women like I am, you know what I'm talking about. You know. I mean, you feel the love of a black woman. It's like it's paradise. It's just so good. Like you can't even. It's got to come from heaven above. I'm just saying. But I could sit here and tell you why I love black women, and without talking about her body, her butt, or any of that crap. But these guys over here, they talking about, oh, they look good and look at. I'm just like, it's all physical, it's all sexual. It's not, it's not anything else. It seems, and it's crazy because these guys will have pictures of like a black man around surrounded by white women, and they're all pregnant. And I'm like, what is that? It's like, is that a fantasy? I mean, it seems like a fetish, it seems like that's what it is. It's all physical. It's all lustful, And look, men and women, we have desires for each other. We do. But there's a time and place for that stuff, But I can describe the love I have for black women without going there, without getting in the physical, the sexual thing. I could just talk about her character and how she carries herself, and but it's like something different. And I think that's why our marriages last longer, because we look at the total person. you know, and I think us traditional guys, we look more beyond than just the sexual attraction or the desire. Because, we've been taught that we're supposed to get married and have a wife, and we want more than just the physical desire. We want someone that's going to be a good wife, a good mother to our children, somebody that's our best friend, somebody that we can, be with and hang out and just, and it's not just about the intimacy. I mean, that's important too, but it's like you feel love on all cylinders in all areas of it, you know. What's that? Black women love everybody. They just get frustrated and I think black women do. There's something about black women, I think they have a sweet spirit to them that they want to, and I don't know if it's just a natural thing that black women just want to be loving and just help people and put people above themselves. Look, my wife does it all the time. She puts me above herself all the time, and she don't need to do that, but she just does it because she loves me. And I've seen black women do that. I mean, it's like, and I say this, that black women bring out the best in you because they pour everything they have into you. And if a black woman loves you, and listen, white men, non-black men, if you find a black woman that loves you, you have a blessing that is so awesome and amazing. And if you just return that love and connect with her, it's almost like there's nothing you can't accomplish. It's like, it's like my wife does this. My goals turn into her goals to where she gets strategic on how I can reach my goals. It's weird, but it's beautiful. It's like, and I made this analogy because one day I went and got a suit, right? I picked out a suit and my wife was in the back room where I was getting it tailored, and the guy was measured. My wife took the measuring tape, just said, mark it here, here. We're going to take that off. We're going to adjust here. And my wife's good at that stuff. She can make clothes and she knows. And the guy just looked at her like, okay, you want a job? I mean, he's going to offer a job on the spot because she knows what she's doing, right? But she wanted that suit to look good on me, right? So she was looking at it and seeing where it needed to be tailored. And my wife has done that with my life. I'm a decent guy, right? I'm a good guy. But she's made me better. She's perfected me. She's taken me like a suit and tightened up the areas and made it even better. By her love and support, she's encouraged me and made me feel like I can accomplish more. In fact, and I've said this, my wife's made me better than I ever thought I could be. Now, I'm not saying I'm great, but what I'm saying is there's things I wouldn't have accomplished without my wife. And she poured into me, and she did that suit. She made me a little bit better here and there, tighten up these areas, give me love and support, you know? And it's like my goals turned into her goals. And that's something black women do that I don't think other women do that. Not like black women do. And it's they pour their heart and their soul into you. If a black woman loves you, you got it made. I I could sit here and praise my wife all night. I know I don't deserve her. And I'm not just saying that to be nice, it's true. But I'm so grateful to have her. And there's no pedestal big enough for my wife. You know, people say, wow, you know, you really put your wife on a pedestal. You talk like she walks on water. Well, she does. I mean, seriously. I mean, I spent 20 years in the Army, right? And I'm telling you, my wife was there the whole time. You know, and from the deployments and being gone a lot and just always having my back. And my wife never complained. And she could complain, she has every right, but she don't. You know, there's career there. You know, she wanted her career, but she put it on hold for me. And then once I retired, I'm like, you do what you want to do, you know. And she made a sacrifice for me. But you know what? By doing that, we have more income. We're more successful. And it's like my military career led to the career I have now because of the training I received, because of what I learned in the Army. Now, she could have said, well, you either get out or I'm gone, like a lot of wives do. But she didn't. And it's not easy. An Army wife, a woman that can be an Army wife for 20 years, I mean, seriously, there's nothing I wouldn't do for my wife. And she knows that. And because she loves me so much, she don't ask for much. She don't. Even though I got money, I can buy her stuff she wants. She just hesitates because she knows whatever she asks for, I will give her. You know, and I will. She deserves that and more. I mean, but anyway, yeah, you know, I just wanted to cover this and this passport bro thing. I'm gonna leave alone. Um, I just think us as men, we need to get it together. You want a traditional woman, you got to be a traditional man. There's no way around it. Okay. You know, Colombian women overseas ain't going to fix it. Okay. We have the women here in America. We have beautiful, amazing women. We have traditional women. Come on now. We just need to get it together as men. But instead of looking at ourselves and fixing it, oh, well, we'll just blame the women and go to another group of women. Yeah, that makes sense. And no wonder we have problems. You can't, I mean, if society is in our country is in such a way to where the women are messed up, well, it's because us men are messed up. The women are a product of our environment. And because we don't make the right decisions, it has an effect on everybody. The answer isn't overseas, guys. And I would say to men, I would say to non-black men, look at black women, get to know black women. They're beautiful and amazing women. They are. You know, I know there's that racial barrier and those stereotypes, but if you have the courage to just approach, say hello, and get to know them, you'll find out you have a lot of stuff in common. I mean, seriously, more than you even know. You know, and I don't know what the complaint is on women in America. I mean, and why you think a foreign national is going to be better. I'm not saying you can't have a good wife from overseas, but you can have that in America. But it's easier to go over there, I guess, and take your little money, which is a lot of money over there, and you'll get the attention of women over there. You will. Your value will skyrocket. I heard one guy saying on his YouTube, "Oh yeah, I was pulling these women and pull." Oh yeah, of course you are. You got money. Money does that. It gives you more value. It don't mean she loves you more. It don't mean that it makes you more attractive. It just maybe she's looking at what you can do for her. Just saying. But anyway. But I mean, heck, I found my wife at home in my hometown. I didn't have to go overseas and all this. I found her at home. And there's women all around. And I would say to non-black men, there's a treasure that passes by you every day. And that's called the black woman. I'm serious. Black women are amazing. Now, are they all great and perfect? No, of course not. But statistically, you're better off, if you go by the stats and you want the best chance of success, you're better off with a black woman, whether you're a white man or a black man. I'm just saying. And I'm not making it up. It's been proven. So, ladies, when you see these passport dummies and these SYSB dudes, talking trash about you ladies and telling you that it's your fault, just know you're the best option for every group of men in America. You are the best option. Because when we marry you, we have the best results. And it's because of your character. It's because of your love. It's because of the women that you are. You're resilient. You adapt and overcome. You're the most educated group of women in America. And yes, we have more success marrying black women than even our own white women, right? It's true. And nobody can debate it because the stats are out. They've done so many studies. And you would think because of the racial barrier that black women, white men relationships wouldn't work. But they do work. They work very well. And it's because of you ladies. And I would say to men, if you're with a black woman and you show her love and respect, you're going to get it back tenfold. I would say don't get a passport, invest in the black woman. I'm just saying, in America. You don't even have to get in a plane. You can stay in your hometown. You don't even have to get a passport. You see her at the grocery store. You see her at church. You see her at work. The black woman's that hidden treasure. Get to know her. Just saying. And black men know they don't do any better with other women. They can talk that smack, but statistically, they do better with black women. So why these guys would disconnect with black women makes no sense to me. I mean, heck, if I was them, I'd be embracing black women. Why would? Thanks to the PP Bros, Brazil now requires Americans to get a visa and show a bank statement with a minimum of $2,000 in order to enter the country. Really? Wow. Well, you know what they'll do? They'll put that 2,000. They'll put that 2,000 in there, show them it, and take it out right away and spend it on these women while they take advantage of them, while they get finessed over there. I did not know that. That's amazing. They're leaving a lot of single mothers there too. Yeah, and that's the thing too. A lot of white women and Asian women are being single mothers to some of these careless dudes. I'm serious. Anyway, let me drop the link. If you guys want to come up, I'll give you a chance before I shut down. I know I've covered this passport thing a couple days, but I just see stuff out there, and I'm like, wait a minute, it ain't that wonderful. Look, I've been overseas. I've been in the military. Look, I spent 3 years in the Navy before I met my wife, and then 20 years in the Army. And look, I've been to the Middle East. I've been to Europe. Been to parts of Africa. I've been, I've been to Japan. I've been to Korea. I've been to Thailand, Malaysia, Philippines. I know what goes on. And look, I've had friends and people I served with marry these foreign nationals. These women, they fell in love. Look, these women, they're smooth in what they do. They'll make you feel like a king. They'll put that love on you and make you feel like, oh, wonderful. And they'll finesse you. It's been happening forever. Now, are there good women over there? Yes, there is. Okay. I know some guys that married women overseas, and it turns out okay. It works. But a lot of times it don't. Okay? I'm just saying. But we don't even need to do that. And these guys need to be careful because you're a target. I'm just saying. And don't mess with the women. You don't know their story and why they're there. And when you mess with them, you're contributing to the evil. Okay? Have some morality. You want to find a traditional woman? Go to a church over there. Go to where the local people are that are everyday people, and get to know them. The ex-president in the Philippines was putting them in prison. Oh, wow. But anyway, you don't have to travel overseas, guys. I might say to white men, non-black men, get to know black women. Look, there's a shift going on, and I've said this before, and I know some people think I'm crazy. I said we're going to turn into a biracial country. It's already happening. Our children, grandchildren, they're going to be biracial because look what's happening. People are opening up their options more. You got these movements of black guys getting with white women and Asian. And look, in our country, and there's nothing wrong with biracial people. They're just people like any of us, right? But it's going that way. and it's going to happen more and more, faster and faster. Anyway, hey, Green Goddess, how's it going? Can you hear me? Anyway, hey, Green Goddess.
Yes, hi.
How's it going? Hi. How's it going?
It's going well. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me? I can. Hey, Green Goddess.
Yes, hi.
Hi. How's it going? You got an
It's
echo.
going well. Can you hear me? Oh, hold on.
Okay.
Okay, how's that?
That's better. Oh, okay. How's it going? It's been a while. You got a different avatar. What is that? Is that like a face?
That
Like
is a espresso.
an espresso. Okay.
Yeah, it's a demon espresso. I mean, I don't know. I thought it was cool.
Yeah, it looks like somebody sticking out their tongue. Or
I thought it was cool.
yeah, it is. Well,
Yeah, but I was when you said that you turned down that debate, I was like, can you hear me?
yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, okay. I was thinking, oh my goodness, that's
Well,
a great idea.
I didn't turn down a debate. Just I got an email, and this guy was telling me that these SYSB guys are like me, just the opposite, which they're not. I mean, the only thing we have in common is interracial relationships. But they were suggesting that I get in contact and talk to them. And in fact, I would love to do that. Really, I might even reach out.
The reason why, pardon, the
Yeah, go
reason
ahead.
the reason why I think it will be a great idea is because a debate has two opposing sides.
Yeah, right.
So, you have your, way of your perspective, and they have theirs. And it would really be an interesting dynamic to see what their mindset is, because I believe they'll open up to you about their intentions. And that would be just like awesome. That'd be
They
so awesome.
you know what? They might open, and that would, because I was just interested in being the mindset. Why do they think that black women are the problem and white women are the solution? I mean, I because my way of thinking, I look at my life, my experience, and I look at black women that I've been in contact with, my relationships. I look at my relationship with my wife, and I look at the data, and I'm like, yeah, black women are the best option. But I don't hate white women at all. You can find a good wife that's a white woman. You can. I'm not. I just see black women as the better option. Okay, not to say one person's better than the other, but because of black women, because of their love, because of their character and decisions they're making in life, and the love they pour in to the men they're with, I'm like, that to me is so attractive when women just show love like that. And I'm just like, um it, it's amazing. And I don't know why more people don't see what I see. And maybe
I
they
do.
just, you do,
Yep.
because they got a closed mind, they don't look at things.
No, that's not it. Their agenda doesn't have anything to do with love. Their agenda is to collect as many women as they can get their gross hands on.
Oh, okay.
That's why that debate would be so cool, because people need to people actually need to know what they're what's what it's all about. I mean, I'm just I'm not really sure if I'm right or but I don't think that they're going overseas or anywhere to find love. They're going over there to have, intercourse and to
Mm,
be just not doing the right thing. That's what I think. But I could be
yeah.
wrong, but I won't know until you have that debate?
I, I think most of these guys are looking for the sexual thing, and I think to live that fantasy. Like, you go to a country and you're looked at as like a rich guy because they look at Americans like you're wealthy, and like in Colombia, your money is a lot worth a lot more than, of course, in America. So you're kind of looked at as like a rich guy. So they kind of fill in that fantasy like they're a baller, and these women are all over them, and they're the man. And I think it's part of that, part of the fantasy, and then the sexual lust that comes with that, and they live out their fantasy with that. I think that's what it's about. I don't think they're going over there to find that good traditional loving woman, because you can find that here. You know what I mean? It just, yeah.
I don't
But
I don't I can't really speak for men because I'm not I
yeah,
don't have that mind of a man. So
yeah,
I don't, you know, uh what I do know is when when they get what they're looking for, I don't think they know how to maintain it. I
hmm,
don't think they it's not I don't know what it is, but yeah, it's weird. It's weird. But that'd be a very educational program you would have if you were to, but I think that you might need to have like a very smart friend with you along with yourself because they're
yeah,
not going to come I think they're going to come with tag teams, you know.
yeah, yeah,
So you're going to need someone to like it'd be an all male thing, because I like it would be best because us women here on your page could
hmm,
really learn a lot from that discussion,
yeah,
and I
yeah.
think it would.
I, no, I hear you. I would love it. I would just to learn the. I just want to just to learn about why they do what they do and what's their mindset. Um, you know, um, I would love to just have a one-on-one discussion with somebody and just talk. And look, this is what I think. This is what you think, and we can draw our conclusions. But I don't know if it'd be that way. I think, like you said, they probably come up with tag teams, try to trip me up, try to make me look bad, or get me to say something crazy. Um,
Probably make you angry. The
yeah,
thing
kind of try
is,
to take digs at
it's your
me.
show, so
Yeah, and
it's
I don't
your
know.
show, so it would be
Right,
on your terms.
right. But I don't know if they'd come on my show on my terms. Um, well, I'll reach out. We'll see. I mean, I'm not promising nothing because I don't. These guys, they don't. I know they don't like me. They don't care for me. So I don't know if they'd even entertain that. But I would love to have the discussion. I think it would be educational. Um, it really
Maybe
would.
us ladies can come up with some questions you could ask them.
Okay.
You know,
They don't do one-on-ones. Yeah, I don't think they would. I think they would have like a tag team type thing. So I'd have to have a tag team on my end. And like you said, it'd have to be men. I can, you know, I wouldn't want
yeah,
to
but
have
the women could like the chat can ask questions.
yeah.
you know, I just think that would be very interesting. That
Yeah.
would like I don't think it's been done.
Mm,
I mean, being that you're, you're a white man,
mhm.
and I don't think it's been done. I don't think so.
I don't think so either. Not, yeah, I don't think so.
So, yeah.
But then again, it might be a waste of time too. I don't know.
Yeah,
No,
it could
I
be.
yeah, but
It could be. But it's a good it's a thought, and I really appreciate whenever I come on whenever I watch your show, I just really appreciate uh the kind words for Black women. It's refreshing. I always say that. And
yeah.
you know, um I don't
Well,
it's there's a lot of it's because you know white men or Asian men and Black women, we're not in the same areas. We don't, I don't know, we don't, go to we don't live in the same areas. We don't know the same people. And it's difficult. It could be difficult to just like be somewhere and, approach someone, or
mhm,
someone approach a Black woman. It's a challenge because, um, some ladies are, I don't know. Some women want to not be approached, but mainly, I think if it was respectful, it would be fine. Or I don't
yeah.
know, but it's just it's
Well,
something that I don't think it happens, and if it does, I don't know where. So
where white men approach Black women,
yeah, or any other race of man.
it
Um,
happens. Yeah, it happens. It's a different approach than what Black men do. I've when I talk to Black women, they say that they want white men to be more forward. Maybe not aggressive, but forward. Like let her know your intentions. And I would say to men, do it in a way that's respectful. Not like you're trying to push up on her, but just you're interested and you talk to her and you let her know. Um, and that way she knows you're interested. And if she's interested, something can happen. And if she's not interested, then and you go about your way. A lot of times, and here's the thing, we a lot of times there's that barrier because we're so careful with Black women. And I've been this way too, to where I don't want to offend them. I don't want to say the wrong thing. I don't want to, and a lot of times there's Black women out there that put qualifiers on us white men that want to date them. Like we got to understand what they go through, their struggle, or what. And a lot of times it's kind of intimidating because oh my God, how can I understand what a Black woman goes through? And I don't want to, say something that can be seen as that can offend her, or she takes it the wrong way, or you know what I mean? So sometimes there's that fear factor, like, and you get with a Black woman that has qualifiers, then you get to believe that's how Black women are, and it turns off a lot of non-Black men, especially white men, because they're like, oh my God, they all think we're racist, so I don't even have a chance. So then you kind of, and I think that turns away some guys, and it just we don't understand. It's not like we don't care. I've heard Black women say, well, I'm going to stay with a black man because he understands my struggle. He knows what we go through. We have this. And a white man don't. Well, of course we don't understand because we're different. What and it's not that we don't care, we just don't know. Um and
Well,
that's all.
how would a
um what's that?
how would a white man um approach a white woman? I mean, aren't we women? I mean,
Yeah, yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
she don't. When he approaches a woman of his own race, he doesn't know her background, history, or anything.
Right,
So
right, right.
can that be the same? Like use the same. I'm sure he's going to be polite and respectful. So what's the difference? I mean, if he could be say hello, I mean, if he could do that with his own race, or maybe he
Why can't
can't.
it?
I don't know. What
Yeah,
do I know?
yeah, well, yeah, exactly. Why can't he just approach a black woman? She's just a woman, you're a man.
Yeah.
um but sometimes that's thrown at us. Look, I've been in situations where you I've dated women like that, and it's tough because um and, and some might feel a certain way because of our racist history and all that stuff. And you know, sometimes people and people that feel that way shouldn't interracially date anyway. But you know, sometimes they want you to understand and have empathy and compassion. And you know, women naturally want you to feel that way. And you know, and you should. But sometimes the stereotypes and the generalizations get in there. And you know, some black women are afraid, oh, I don't want to date a white guy that's racist. I hear that. um
Yeah, but we wouldn't we don't know that until they start
yeah,
acting
right,
until they start
right.
behaving that way.
Yeah, right.
So,
Yeah.
but I'm saying, but the initial greeting, you know, should
Yeah,
be just being cordial and polite should be enough. I mean,
it
it
should.
is enough.
And
Being
and
cordial and polite is enough.
yeah, and with most black women, that's enough. Usually, look, and I tell men all the time, black women are pretty much they're pretty reasonable. Most black women, if you treat them well, they're not going to hold all that stuff over your head. There's some that will, but most black women, you treat her with kindness, she's going to be kind to you. Even if she's not interested in you. And I've said this. There have been women I approached that turned me down. And I've never had black women just, you know, go off on me because I approach, but I approach with respect, with kindness. And if she's not interested, I don't say nothing rude to her. I say, okay, well, thank you, you know. And I go about my way. So I've never had that. But the beautiful thing is when you approach and she's interested, that means so much. And I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, when as a white man, when a black woman shows you love and shows you she's interested, that means more coming from a black woman than a white woman, regardless of what the man's interested in. Because we got this psychological thing that if Becky likes me, well, okay, she's supposed to, right? But a black woman, for some reason, we think she don't like us, and if she shows love, we really appreciate it. It's like, oh my God, this is wonderful. And especially if you love black women and you get that, of course, that's going to make your day. And I just think psychologically we embrace that. And I don't know how black women take this, but I would assume black women appreciate that too. Because there's a lot of black women that don't think white guys like them. And when they're shown love, it means something. Um, you know, and it's always meant something to me. I've always thought black women were amazing, beautiful. I And I thought back in my day that, oh my God, they're not going to like me. I'm going to look stupid.
I
And
was told
mhm.
I was told most of my life. Hello?
Yeah, I hear you. I'm listening.
Oh, I don't know. I got the TV on mute and my mic is choppy. And I hope you're not hearing it choppy. Are you hearing
No,
me?
it sounds good.
Oh,
You're
okay.
you're
But
coming through
I
clear.
was told my whole life, and I'm Gen X, but I
Mhm.
was I was told my whole life, oh, white men don't like black women. And
Yeah.
that's what I was told. And I think that was just a tactic to keep us separated. Now that I think of it, it's
Yeah.
just a way of keeping us separated. So we're gonna have to. So even me, I have to get that programming out of my head that people just don't like me just because of my skin color, and I don't
Yeah.
have to be on defense mode, and because that's what it is when I'm when I feel like when I feel like I've been programmed, and it's a programming. And it
Right.
also comes from like back in the 70s and 80s. Remember when Roots used to come on every year this time of the year, Black
Yes.
History
Yes.
Month?
Yeah.
All this they drag all the slave shows into on
Yeah. Yeah.
on the TV, and that even, you know, uh you see all these slave shows about, you know what I
Mhm.
mean?
No, I
And you get that idea like, yeah, this is what it was like back then, and this is how it is now. So that,
right.
and they do need to like knock it off with the slave stuff because we've
Yeah.
come so far and we've done so much and we've made so much progress. So that just needs to, yeah, that it happened, but it didn't just happen there, and to be honest, black men don't necessarily understand the plight of a black woman either.
Yeah.
Because if you ask them, they went through all of that slavery stuff and we didn't. We went, we were there with all that history, but you wouldn't know it if you asked them because it was, because
Yeah.
they don't count us black
Yeah.
women as part of
Part of
their,
the struggle.
yeah,
Yeah.
you know, part of that what happened, and as far as they're concerned, they can be mean to us because we have it easier, even though we're black and women,
Right.
you know, and they don't make it easy for us, and they're not 9 times out of 10, they're not even nice to us. So we
Well,
do need to like expand our options, and
yeah.
you know,
No, I get what you're saying, and I remember those Roots movies and stuff. Uh, the new Roots I thought was better, more accurate because they showed the African influence, like selling the slave, the conquered people from conquered tribes, and because the old one, the perception was like these evil white men went over and just rounded up black people, and the slavery, if you really study it worldwide, because it was a worldwide thing, it wasn't just white guys came up with this idea, hey, let's no, it was happening way in ancient times. It was the way of the world. People would conquer other people, and the the survivors, they would enslave them. That happened in Europe, it happened in Africa, uh in Asia. It was a worldwide concept.
absolutely,
It was evil. It's totally wrong, and it's shameful. I'm not proud that America participated in slavery. It's shameful. It's embarrassing. I don't like talking about it. I'll talk about it because it's part of our history, but I'm not proud of it. It's shameful.
Yeah,
I'm just
it's
like,
2024. We need to move forward.
yeah, but you're right.
Yeah,
We're
and the you know the you keep digging up the past, and all you get is dirty.
yeah, that's true.
So you know,
And we're not the same people. Um we're not white people today didn't participate in slavery. So and the black people didn't go through it. And so why are we talking about it except for studying history and taking it in perspective what was going on at the time. Um but it happened. It was evil. There's nothing we can do about it. All we can do is make our time better. And we
and it
need to
is.
move on. We
It
need to
is.
move on. And
Women have come, a long way, and
right.
time changes everything. And but the
But
thing is, yeah, black women are women, and I
yeah,
feel like if you know,
you know what?
yeah, it's not gonna be. It's you know, I don't know, but
you,
I don't know
you,
if women are into approaching men. But I gotta admit something today. I gotta admit something. I did
oh, okay.
approach a guy.
Uh-oh. How'd that go?
I got a number.
Oh, okay. See that look, white men love black women. We do. A lot of us do. And I've talked to women. I say, and they say, well, white men don't approach, and they don't. I said they love you. Look, there's that barrier. Be where they're at, you know. And I've had women say, you know what? They really do like me. Yeah, they like you. It just we're breaking through that conditioning. And look, I'm Gen X too. And I remember when I was dating, people thought I was crazy or I was just, and some people say, okay, it's something different. So some people would encourage me, well, why don't you date Mexican women? And being in New Mexico, they're all over. Uh, People would give me that advice. Or how about Asian women? They like white guys. Black women don't like white guys. That's what I was told. And
We were told the same thing. See
yeah.
that was a ploy to keep us separated.
Mhm. And and when I was a teenager and I was dating, some of my friends were like, "Why do you have to mess with these black girls? What is it? I mean, there's these other girls around. Why are you so into them?" And I'm just like, "They're awesome. They're amazing. That's who I want to be with." And some people thought I was weird or just because it wasn't in the norm. I mean, people were doing it, but not as much as today. And I remember my family telling me, I mean, my parents were okay with it, but I remember like my uncle told me, said, yeah, it's not going to work. And and he told me this. He says, black women will never love you like you love them. And he said, your love for black women will be the end of you. And I'm just like, wow. So he was totally against it. And some of people in my family say, well, yeah, Sandy's a nice girl, but I don't want to see you get hurt. People won't accept it. You know how they are, society. We're just so different. Um, and your kids, they won't know whether they're black or white, or they'll be confused, and all that propaganda, all that garbage. Look, all three of my kids are college educated. They know exactly who they are. And they don't have to belong to black people or white people. They're just people. They know they're both, and that's who they are.
Yeah.
And and me and my wife, we taught our kids to embrace who they are. Um, you know, that don't make them better than anybody, but it don't make them worse than anybody either. and yeah. But hey, Indiana mom.
Absolutely.
Hey, how are you?
Absolutely.
Yeah, how's it going?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you guys?
We're doing good.
Hello.
Having a good conversation.
Right on. I have to say that I agree with Brent because I was approached a lot growing up. I mean, every little boy that I dated or went to the movies or roller skating with or whatever, from middle school all the way until I went off to college and met Tree, they were always white guys. Always. And maybe it was because of the environment. I lived in the suburbs. The high school that I went to was predominantly white, so maybe that was why, and I was different or whatever, but I never ever felt like it wasn't genuine.
Yeah,
It was always, I knew that these guys liked me for who I was and not because, oh, I want to see what it's like with her. They were we had the same interests, like music, sports, I mean, we had all the same interests. We hung out with the same crowd, and it was always genuine.
yeah. You know what? My wife grew up like you did in a white community. Her neighborhood was more white than mine. It's funny because people will make fun of me, that my friends say, wow, you went to the whitest part of town to get a black woman.
Yeah.
and I did. And it was, and it's funny because her high school, she was the only black girl on her basketball team. In my high school, we had several black girls on our basketball, in the ladies basketball team. So, but hers, it was all, you see all these white women and are these white girls and my wife, back when she was in high school. It was
Well,
cute though, but that was her environment.
yeah,
And,
same here. Same
and,
here.
and even though I was the first white guy she dated, it worked.
Right.
And my wife, she tried dating at church because her church was predominantly black, and
Yeah.
she was trying to date. You figure the quality men, right? The ones in church, the upstanding men, and she's like, that didn't work. So I came
Yeah.
along, and it worked, but um, it just. But it was her environment, and it is easier when you're in that environment. And I'm going to tell you, Indiana mom, you being in that environment, and believe it or not, with your accent, with your Valley Girl accent, actually, white men find that attractive. I always did back in the day. Um, but yeah, they're used to you. You're used to being around them, and it's easier to have a relationship. If you come from a predominantly black neighborhood or predominantly white, I think there's going to be more of a barrier there.
Mm-hmm.
And I've noticed that, like, my wife was, I mean, I was nervous approaching her, but it wasn't hard to date her, hard to get to know her. Um, the initial thing was like, because I was in love with my wife at the get-go. I was nervous, I was trembling, and I was stuttering, and oh my God. And I just felt in my mind, I'm looking so stupid right now. And she found that attractive. She's like, oh, and I asked her, when I was talking to you, did you ever could you understand what I was saying? Because I know I was nervous. She says, I didn't need to. I could see it in your eyes. I know exactly what you're saying. She
Yeah.
felt that love. And, and when I talked to her that night a little more, I got comfortable. It was really pleasant. And I remember saying in my head, "Oh my God, I love you." I was, I'm just meeting this woman, right? And I just wanted to embrace her. And it wasn't no sexual thing. I just wanted to hug her. I didn't
Yeah.
because I'm just meeting her, but that was how I
Brent,
felt. Yeah, go ahead.
can I ask you something?
Yeah.
So, um, because you're a man, right?
Mhm. Okay.
Yeah. Um, is it do God, how do I sorry, how do I say this? If if a guy gets all nervous
Mhm.
and he just can't stop staring and stuff, or I don't know, is it should like I get that a lot, but I get scared myself and I don't know what to do. So what should yeah, like I get stared at and
Um,
I don't know what to
well,
do. Should I say something? I don't know
yeah.
what to say.
Say hello. Say, hey, how's it going? Or just say um a lot of times, okay, I've been in that situation where you're staring, and we do this. And I tell white men, if you're staring at her, you got to go talk to her because she a lot of times she'll get the wrong impression, like you're kind of like you might be lusting after her, or you're kind of creepy. And then that's
You get
not
the
what it.
heebie-jeebies.
Yeah, you just kind of feel weird. Uh, Felicia said, "Smile." Yeah, you could smile at him, or just say
Yeah.
hello, or small talk. Um, and the smile. Let me put this up there, smile, because this is big, because this is what always got my confidence. When I would look and see a black woman I was attracted to, and she would smile, that would give me confidence. Now, just because she smiled don't mean she's into me. She might just be being nice, right? Just being friendly and smile. But it gave me confidence. And a lot of times when you get that smile, a lot of times she is interested. Not always, but and you pick up on that. And when you smile and have eye contact is
God, that's what I struggle with the eye
Yes.
contact.
yeah, and it's tough because
I do. I
it,
struggle with that.
it's almost like when you look in someone's eyes, it's almost like how can I say that? What's that word? It's kind of uh it's kind of passionate, but what's that word I'm looking for? Um
Intriguing.
that and it's just like
The window to the soul or something.
yeah, but there's something it does to you, like it
It
gives you that
scares the bejeebers out of me. I cannot even. I
yeah,
can't
right.
even look. I'm like, oh my God. I can feel them staring at me. Can feel it. Like, and I'm like scared to turn around. I
See, I never had issues like that. Um, I've been told many, many times by multiple people of both genders that I am like an outrageous flirt,
Mm.
but I don't, I've never flirted on purpose.
what do you do? Tell me. Oh my God, you got to share.
I'm just being me. And
Now
okay,
you're bragging because you're not saying
no,
nothing.
no, well, I have a literally a lifetime background in cheerleading, and growing up, my coaches, and then over more than 30 years of me coaching, I've preached the same thing to my girls. It's one of those, leave anything negative at home. And when you walk out the door, even if you're having a crap kind of day, put on a smile, hold your head up, shoulders back, stand up tall, and show that confidence, and walk with a little bit of a strut, and and show the world here I am. And hey, it is what it is, you know? And I've always been like that. Maybe,
Yeah.
like I said, maybe my cheerleading coach put it in me at such a young age that now it's kind of who I am. And I can't help it now.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
Maybe
So yeah, I don't do the eye contact because I get nervous and I don't know what to do.
It's like
So.
a spiritual thing too, and it can be kind of intimate. But I would say, and not everybody's going to have the confidence that you have, Indiana Mom. Not, I would just say if they do stare, maybe a smile, say hi, or you could just say, "Hey, hello," or just small talk. What do you think about this? But a smile goes a long way. It really does. It did with me. That gave me the confidence, you might say. As I got my courage up to approach, it got easier, but it's still tough. I mean, you're still nervous because if you feel like you really want to get to know the woman you're talking to, if you feel something for her, you're going to be nervous. I'm just saying. So, ladies, if a guy approaches you and he's nervous and kind of trembling a little bit, he likes you. He wants to he wants a good impression. He wants you to feel like that towards him, and if it don't work, he worries about that. Now, these smooth operator dudes that come up and just say the smoothest things and just confident and just like, beware of those guys. Actually the guy that's a little nervous, that's a good thing. I'm being honest, because if a man really don't care, he could be as smooth as can be. But
Yeah.
if he's a little nervous, he feels something for you, and he wants a good impression. And that's, look, I was that way with my wife because I was into her. I wanted to hook up with her.
Thanks, Felicia.
And
good advice.
Yeah, in a good way. I'm not saying hook
Yeah.
up, but I wanted to get to know her. But those are things you can look for. A smile goes a long way. A hello. And I would say to men too, you see a black woman you're attracted to, say hi to her. Talk to her.
And another
She's-
thing that I do, that I try to practice every single day, is like Felicia said, just complimenting someone else. And I try to do it with women, but especially black women. If I'm in a grocery store and I see a black woman and she's got a scowl and looks like she's probably had a long day, I don't say something like, "Oh, you had a bad day. I hope you have a better day." No, I don't even acknowledge that. I'll
right.
casually reach for like the cereal, on the shelf standing next to her, and I'll say something like, "Oh, wow, I love the shade of your lipstick. It really compliments you. Where did you get it?" Because it takes her away from her bad day, even if it's only for a couple minutes. And then she can say, "Oh, I ordered it off of this, website. Da 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 da. Let me give you the link." And we strike up a conversation, and most of the time we end up exchanging numbers, or hitting each other up on Facebook or something, and I have a new friend.
That's wonderful.
I do it all the time. My husband says that I'm the one that, when we used to go to the bars in our 20s and 30s, he's like, every time I got up to go to use the ladies' room, that I would come back with like 20 phone numbers and like 50 new friends. And he's like, and babe, you were so trashed. He's like, "Look in your phone." And I'm like, Who was Ashley? I don't know. Who's Maybell? I have my phone is full of numbers of people that I don't know. And he's like, oh yeah, that's everybody you met at the bar last night. Those are all your new friends. I'm like, oh, okay. Okay. I have new friends. All right, cool.
You know what's a neat thing is when, and me and my wife, we'll run in this sometimes. And when we're out, now when we were, you remember back in the 80s and 90s, right? When we're interracially dating,
Mm-hmm.
it was like people really would look at you because it was it was something that was different, right? Especially black women,
Yeah.
white men. You know, we were.
Yeah. They're
It
used to
was
seeing the opposite interracial.
yes, yes. But in the 80s, it was starting to kick off. And I remember
Yeah.
seeing it in high school, and I was doing it, and some of my friends were opening up their options with black women back then, and it was a beautiful thing. I remember. You remember I did that reaction video of that on that show of back in the 80s, black women that were married to white men.
Mm-hmm.
That brought back so many memories. How those women looked is how the girls in high school looked back in that time. And I remember that, and that brought back
Yeah.
memories. I was like, oh yeah, that was a beautiful time in my life. And you know, I just looked back and I was like, yeah, it started then. Of course, we weren't calling it swirling and all this other
No.
stuff. We were just doing it. And
Exactly.
I mean, it was neat. But when me and my wife, you know, in May we're going to hit 30 years. And
Yep.
when we see a other interracial couple, it's like a good feeling. Like, hey, they're like us, and I mean, we've
We
ran
are
in,
you. You are
yeah,
us.
and we've seen so many younger people, like young kid, like in their 20s, some in high school, right? I,
Yes.
I mean, and it's like, wow, this is really taking off. This is
Well,
happening more often.
I
And
have a niece that's a sophomore in high school right now,
mhm,
and she is dating this adorable little football player. He's the cutest thing,
mhm,
and they are so about each other. He's so sweet to her. And my niece is like, compared to me, she's what you would call dark skinned. She's pretty dark.
mhm.
And this kid is blonde, blue-eyed, and he's so pale, the poor baby is see-through. But our whole family absolutely adores him because he is so good to her. He's so sweet to her. And I don't think she would ever be happier with anybody else. And I've told her, I'm like, you see that little boy making your plate over there while you're sitting here gossiping with me? She's like,
Mhm.
yes. I said, that's who you need to marry. You hang on to him. That's the
Mhm.
one. And she's like, yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, it just but when we see that it's neat. And th- there was a couple and they were in their 20s and getting ready to get married, and you know, it's like we have like a connection. And
Doesn't it trigger memories? And you're just like,
oh, it does. Oh my god.
oh,
And I think back when me and my wife were young, and it's like, oh man. And look, we went to the park one day, right? And there was this younger couple, and she was black, he was white, and they had a couple little kids, right? Biracial
oh.
kids running around. And my wife looked at me and she started getting emotional, and I kind of did too, but I was just being tough, holding it back.
Mhm.
But you know, and our children are grown up. Our youngest is 22, right? And we got three kids. Um,
Mhm.
our oldest is 27, so that just shows how
Mhm.
old I am, right? But but I remember when our children were little, you know, and they were all just a couple years apart. So we had 3 toddlers,
Mm-hmm.
and I remember going to the park back in the day, and they'd be running around, and my wife saw that, and she got emotional. She says, I miss my babies, and
Oh yeah.
I was like, oh my God. And I started remembering, and you miss your kids. Even, they're adults doing their own thing. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
my son's in the Army, my daughter, she's married and has 2 daughters, and my youngest daughter's still with us, but she's going to
Mm-hmm.
college. But you miss those days when the kids were little, and you know, we were younger then, and we didn't have it as good as we got now. Of course,
Right.
um, but we did all right. I'm just saying that. But we missed those times with the kid when we would take trips, when we would do things as a family. Me and my wife do a lot together, but sometimes you miss having the kids around.
Yeah.
And that I mean, there's things I see that bring back those memories, and doing this YouTube talking about. I remember my babysitter back in the day, and I told you guys about that story, and I get emotional because that woman I love. I love that woman. Seriously. I don't think she even knows the impact she had on my life. But Black women along the way have had a big impact in my life. And I
Mm-hmm.
think that's why I'm so attracted to Black women, why I love them so much. It's just the emotional connection I had at a younger age. And I've talked to white men that are like me that just want to be with Black women. It's not that we're fetishizing and we're weirdo. No, we just really love Black. We've had a connection a lot of times at a young age where we could feel that love, and it just carries on through our life, and it's impacted my life. And it's a beautiful thing, it's a good thing, and it led me to my wife. So and I tell, and sometimes Black women think that's weird. If a man says he's only interested in Black women, that's a red flag.
Right.
It's really not. It just means he loves you. He just loves Black women, and people think it's always sexual, or it's not. And with my life, I learned to love women the right way. And I've had love for Black women before I could even think about what her body looked like and the desire.
Right.
The love came natural. And then when you grow up and you have those feelings, it it, it works itself right in. Does that make sense?
Yes. Absolutely.
Now you got to conduct yourself the right way. There's a time and place for everything, but it just flows. It's natural. It just, for me to be with a Black woman, it was natural for me. It's like, I know this sounds weird, but I dated 2 white women my whole life,
Mm-hmm.
and I felt awkward. I felt out of place. It just didn't feel right. It was just weird. And people laugh at me. Oh, it's weird being with your own kind. No, it is, because I've had a connection with Black women. Look, I've never been intimate with white women. I wouldn't even know what that's like. I'm being honest. Now,
Mm-hmm.
people say you're a weirdo. No, I'm not. Just my heart. When I say I gave my heart to Black women, I literally did. And I made a statement like, because people say, okay, you're in the Black woman, who hurt you? Well, nobody did.
Yeah.
And nobody could except my mother. That's the only Becky that can hurt me. I'm just saying. I just, but you know, but Black women are that amazing. When they touch your heart, you feel it. It has an impact. And every
Can I ask
last,
a question?
yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so yeah, I'm a Gen X. Okay,
Me too.
but yeah, the, yeah, it's just that I'm single. I know you both are married, and um, Genesis is married, and I don't know about Felicia, but I was reading the chat and everything. But I'm I'm not attracted to men my age because they look so old. And I kind of, I look pretty young for my age.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. They just, I'm so serious. It's so weird. They look so old.
I would say if that's not what you're attracted to, I would say, excuse me.
Would it be weird if I was into like guys that might be in their 30s? Because that
No,
looks like more of my age group.
no, no, not at all. I
I don't
mean,
think so.
maybe a younger Gen X or an older millennial. You know, hey,
Yeah. What's the older millennial?
um, they're right after us.
Before
It,
us, or if it's
is,
After,
after us,
yeah,
is that Y generation?
that's before Gen X, right?
no, boomers are before us.
You
Our
got
Yeah.
to be kidding me.
No,
My
you
No,
know
I'm
what?
parents,
saying no. Yeah. Okay, right under. Okay, under. You're right. You're right.
yeah,
Under. Yeah, they say, black women don't look like our age usually.
exactly,
So
exactly.
I'm not, and I'm not exaggerating. These guys look like I went out with a 57-year-old. I swear, it looked like I was with my grandfather. And I felt that way too.
Well, if you
They
put,
just don't keep themselves.
I
It was a
think,
black guy. It was a black guy, but
I think
still.
all men age faster than women,
Yeah.
in general. But then when you compare it to black women, we age the slowest on the planet, literally, if we take care of ourselves. Um,
Yeah, that's true. I'm
like when we met, Tree and I fit. We fit perfectly, And now, just because he's worked himself to the bone, and he didn't do all the what you would call the girly taking care of yourself kind of thing that I was able to do, since I was like a stay-at-home mom for most of my life. um Now, looking at the two of us side by side, we almost look like we're 10-15 years apart. He looks a lot older than me, and when the topic of like generation or when did you graduate, and we're talking about that with like a group or another couple or something, they are amazed to find out that I'm actually 9 months older than he is.
Wow. I went out with a 42-year-old white guy, and I looked younger than him. He couldn't even believe I was 50 at the time,
Mm-hmm.
but
you,
he was 42. He couldn't
you know
believe
what?
that that's how old I was. He thought I was younger than him, and I thought
Yeah.
he was my age,
I
you
still
know?
get mistaken for a sibling of my kids, especially my daughters. They think
Me
we're all
too.
sisters all the time. And
Oh, that's so cute.
when we're out, like going to get our nails done or something like that, and someone strikes up a conversation and they're like, "Oh no, we're not all sisters. We're the two of us are sisters. That's our mom." And the whole room just shuts down.
I
And
get
I'm
it.
Oh,
like,
really?
and
I
eyes are
do.
on, and I'm like, "What? Yes, I was there. I carried them. They popped out of me. Yes, I am their mom. I know you probably don't believe me, but I can show you pictures. I was there. I'm pretty sure those are the ones that I brought home from the hospital. Yeah,
Hmm.
My
those are
sons look
mine.
like nobody believes that my sons are my sons also,
Yeah,
because they look
yeah.
older than me.
Oh, I took my
And I'm
son
short too, so yeah, and there's that.
on my
So
son's 21st birthday. He'll be 26 in April, but my son's 21st birthday, I took him out, um, with a bunch of my girlfriends, and we took him out to a bar that they had like a band that played classic rock, and so they were jamming out to AC/DC, and everybody was buying him shots, and he got pretty toasted. But anyway, when we got there, nobody carded him at the door, but they carded me.
That is so cool.
And I was like, wait, are you gonna card him? And they're like, oh, he looks over 26. He's got the facial hair and stuff. And I'm like, you mean I don't look over 26, but he does?
That is so cool.
And the dude at the door was like, yeah. And I looked at him and I was like, and he goes, yeah, that's my mom. It's my birthday. I'm 21 tonight. That's my mom. And the guy at the door was like,
that is
wow.
cool.
And I'm like,
you know what?
I think it's because the melanin responds well with the sun.
The
So
guy
that's why we
said-
don't age too much.
the guy said, I thought that was your girlfriend. And the look on my son's face, he side-eyed me and was just, he looked like he was
I
going to
know.
barf. Honestly, he looked like he was going to barf right there. And I'm like, wow, no, you probably shouldn't have said that, because no.
You know what? You know what? I've approached women that were older than me, and I didn't think they were. Yeah, that black women do age nicely. You guys do. You know, you really do. You age like wine. We age like a warm cup of milk on a summer day. I'm just saying.
Don't say that, Brett. That's not true. It's just that I think it's just the melanin. I think it's just the genetics of the sun.
Yes.
That's what I think. The sun activates something.
I think so. Yeah.
And it's probably moisture in the skin too, probably, because it just no, but black women do age nicely. I'm serious, you guys. And if you take good care of yourself, oh man, you could be 60 and look 30. I'm serious. It's amazing. I mean, you do have that. That's a
I can be mistaken for 30.
Well, thank you, Felicia. I just turned 53 last month, so.
Oh, happy belated birthday!
Thank you.
Yeah.
Aquarius.
Huh?
Aquarius.
I don't even know how old I turned.
Dude, are you forgetting your age? Trick does that too.
Maybe because I don't care. I mean, I was born in '69, so.
Because like a couple nights ago, we were out somewhere, and she was like, "Yeah, I'm 51." I'm like, "Dude, you're 52. You're 52." I'm like, "Don't do that."
Oh, hey, guys, guess what?
What?
Uh-oh.
Speaking of birthdays, tomorrow's my wife's birthday. Well, it's actually today. That's why I'm not going.
Is it
live
today?
tomorrow.
Because it's after 2:00 in the morning. It's after 2:00, and oh my goodness.
Yeah. So tomorrow and Sunday we're going get away, me and my wife.
Oh, awesome.
And celebrate her birthday.
That's nice.
So, yeah.
Well, gentlemen, and Miss Indiana Mom, Brent, thank you for having me. This was very delightful. Very, very nice.
Thanks for coming on.
And I hope that we get to hear that debate, because that would be legendary.
Well,
and I bet it's going to be funny too. I bet it's going to be like loads of fun, like really seriously funny.
Well, we'll see. It might turn out okay. It might turn ugly too. But even that would be cool. Yeah. Right? And I might be feeling like a crazy way and start making fun of them. I don't know. I just.
Oh yeah, then they're gonna start cursing you out.
Yeah, and then
and calling you names, because that's what they do.
Yeah,
when their little ego gets bruised.
Since we're Gen X, remember we were told sticks and stones. So let them say whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
I couldn't
I
care
think you
less.
can.
I don't care. I don't care. Because, like, you know, I do sometimes online when I I guess I'm becoming kind of known because when
Yeah.
I'm on other like channels and I'm commenting, I'll see some random dude be like, "Oh yeah, I know who she is. She's married to a white guy." And then he'll spend the next 20 minutes typing in the chat about how terrible I am. But you know what? I can be terrible. I will be that bed wench. That's okay because it's in a king size bed in a what is it? 55-foot RV that the white guy paid like $70,000 for. So I'm living in the lap of luxury, traveling and camping and looking for land. So, yeah, I'll be that bed wench. Call me that. I am that. While you're like jobless in the field, living in a tent. But okay.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right.
Well, I'm
So
gonna
yeah,
hop off,
the
okay?
nice little
You
preppy
you
girl
have a
can kind of be a jerk every
Okay.
now and then if I have to.
Yeah.
yeah. Well, you have a great morning because it's morning and all.
It
So,
is.
Yeah. I need to get
yeah.
some rest. But thanks for coming up.
Thank
Green
you.
Goddess. It's been a little bit. Good to see you.
Yes. Oh, I've been watching. I've been
Oh,
watching,
okay.
girl.
I
Give
Okay, then
Sandy
appreciate
talk
a
to
that.
you later.
give
All
Sandy a
Ciao.
right.
birthday hug.
I will.
Tell
Yeah.
her happy birthday. Yay, Sandy.
Yeah. I will. Yeah. But thanks for coming up, Indiana Mom. It's good talking to you.
Yeah. Same. And I will say good night to you and everyone in the chat. Good night, peoples.
Yeah. All right. Black men want a live debate with Roadrunners so they can throw insults to Roadrunners. Black female subscriber. Yeah, and that's the thing I wouldn't like about it. It is if they come in attacking women. I don't want that. Mm-mm. I would end it right then if they started attacking the women. I'm not going to put up with that crap. If they attack me, that's fine. I mean, I'm good with that. But a lot of times these guys come in and, I kind of cringe because a lot of times they'll come in and actually be polite to me and attack with the women in the panel or in the chat. And no, I don't want that. That's not cool at all. Um, anyway, but we'll see. I'm going to rechat and see how it goes. If it gets stupid, I might have to terminate it while it's happening. I'm not going to have dudes come in and insult the women and talk trash about black women. I'm not going to have that. No. You're on my panel. You got to respect black women. That's number one. Me, you can attack me. I'm okay. In fact, I might enjoy it and, fire back. So, but anyway, guys, thank you so much. Indiana Mom, Green Goddess, thanks for coming up. It was a pleasure talking to you, ladies. Always have a good time talking to you. Um, you know, Tonight I talked about the passport bros and what's going on, and you know, um, the thing of it is, and I don't want to see anybody go overseas and be unalived. Okay, even if they're my most hated rival, I don't want to see nobody unalived. I don't like seeing that, and I really don't like American men going overseas acting a fool because that gives us a bad reputation as American men, whether you're black or white. Look, we're Americans, and I want a positive outlook on us. You know what I mean? And if you're going overseas to find true love, do it the right way. You're not going to find it in a nightclub over in Colombia, okay? It just ain't going to happen. I'm sorry. Just don't. And the amazing thing is we have beautiful, amazing women in our own country. And that hidden treasure, that 7% of our population, which is black women, that's a true treasure. And they live in our towns and our cities. Open up your options, guys. Get to know the black woman. And ladies, open up your options. And I would say to black women and white men, give each other a chance. Okay? Don't let those stereotypes and conditioning that we've been put through keep us apart, because you don't know the love you can experience. And I'm telling you, if I wouldn't have had the courage to open up my options, I would never be with my wife, Sandy. And that would be devastating. But because I had the courage to step out and approach my wife and take a chance, I'm blessed, you know. And I didn't have to go overseas to Guatemala to make this happen. I did it in my own hometown, you know. I'm just, you know, no matter where you meet somebody, you got to put in the work. You want a traditional woman, you got to be a traditional man. There's no shortcuts. You can't have the woman give you everything and you don't give her everything. It don't work that way. You want it all, you got to give it all. Okay? And that's my whole thing, you know. Look at the blessings we have, you know. But anyway, guys, I love you guys. Ladies, you're beautiful and amazing. And guys, you know how amazing black women are. Those of you that are married to them, I talk to you guys and you tell me the same things I say. And black women, it is true that you're the best option for both black men and white men. I mean, when it comes to marriage stats, you are. And that shows your character, that shows your love, that shows your commitment, that shows how you can adapt and overcome. You don't become the most educated by accident. Okay? You know, as white men married to black women, our marriages aren't the longest lasting by accident. It's because of your beauty, your love, and your character, ladies. And hold your head up high. You are the best option, and you deserve the best option. Don't let nobody tell you different. It just, these guys out here that say they don't need you, it's not that. They're not qualified to be with you. It just is what it is. But anyway, have a good night. God bless. I'll see you guys. When do I be back? I'll be back Tuesday. I'll do a prayer meeting Tuesday. And then we'll come back next Saturday. And I might throw some videos out there here and there. Oh, I'm going to start this coming up next football season. If you guys are in the football, if you're a diehard Cowboys fan like me, or if you're a hater, you're welcome too. I'm going to just have a seasonal show, and I think it'll be fun. If you're interested, let me know. I got a couple people that are like, "Oh yeah, I want to do this." It's just going to be a temporary side show I do on the channel. You know. But anyway, guys, have a good night. I'll see you soon. Open up your options, swirl to investment. Have a good night.